All right, got two different videos to record. Recording a bit later than usual, just through plans that have happened in the day today. But want to start off first video, obviously about last night, Champions League games, Arsenal Madrid or Madrid and Arsenal, should I say, and then Inter against Bayern. Watched majority of the Arsenal game before I flipped over to the Inter game. Kind of once Arsenal kind of made it 1-0. Um, let's just start off by saying incredible from Arsenal. That's a huge stepping stone in their journey as a team and as a club. They've needed to do it on the big stage. They've needed to do it when, you know, everyone's watching them, all eyes are on them. I really was impressed. Most importantly, I think first of all, Declan Rice bossed both legs, best player on the pitch by an absolute country mile, and that's a proper centre midfielder's performance. That's like a Gerrard, Roy Keane, Frank Lampard, Patrick Vieira, yeah, any midfielder performance, just completely dominant all over the pitch, doing absolutely everything, absolutely everywhere. He absolutely bossed Jude Bellingham around through both legs, and Bellingham couldn't get into it, and Rice kind of man marked him, and it was really impressive to see. I mean, when they spent the money for Declan Rice, I was like, that investment will pay back. I remember having a few debates in the pub with people thinking, a lot of people saying that is a ridiculous amount of money for him, but he's got literally everything. He can be an 8, he can be a 10, he can be a 6. He's just a centre midfielder, but just kind of a throwback to, like, he can do everything. Get forward in the box if you want him to score. He can shoot, he can score free kicks, and he can run around and win the ball. So phenomenal from Declan Rice, absolutely incredible player of the two legs. The one player I was very interested to see how he would do and how he would perform at this level was Bukayo Saka, and I really wanted to see if he stood up to the test and where he is, because he's on par to have an extremely good career and be an absolutely incredible player. He already has been, but I've just wanted to see him step up in a game, and he hasn't like had a moment to do it in Europe like that, because they obviously got knocked out last season in the quarterfinals too, and there wasn't a chance to play someone like Madrid. So I wanted to see him, and he was absolutely incredible. I thought he was threatening the whole time. I thought he caused worlds of problems in both legs on that side. He wasn't passive. He wasn't just coming inside. He was getting the ball, and he was being threatening, and he was being positive. He was getting on the front foot. He was running at everybody, and he was causing them absolute chaos. And the big thing about Saka was his goal, his run that he makes inside, the little dink finish over Courtois. That's what I want to see Saka doing a lot more of, like different types of goals and just being clinical and becoming ruthless and just being a goal scorer. I mean, you're going to take Mohamed Salah as the player that you're going to look at if you're a right winger now and try and model your career off that. So that's what I want to see Saka doing, and he did it. Albeit when he did that Panenka, I thought, Christ, if I was Arteta, I'd sub him. I thought that was just a shocker from him. I mean, there was no need to do that, but yeah, like I say, everything else was absolutely phenomenal. So unbelievable from Arsenal, unbelievable from Saka, unbelievable from Rice. I think that's about it. I think Madrid have definitely got a little problem. All right, Ma. Madrid have definitely got a little problem with their attackers. Um, I think Mbappe coming in has kind of off balanced everything, which hasn't helped the likes of Bellingham, who was getting into those areas to score goals last season by making those late runs into the box, and now Mbappe's taking that space up. So it was always going to be tough getting the space in. I remember even when Liverpool were linked with Mbappe, and I'm not saying about his quality, but in terms of just who he is and what that means when you sign Kylian Mbappe, it means it becomes the Mbappe show. So you can't drop him, you can't get rid of him. Um, you have to play him. And like, don't get me wrong, Mbappe's still amazing and he's threatening and he's having a good season, but there's definitely a balance that goes off with that. You can just see it. They just weren't quite on it. And I think it's easy to jump on teams in football and be like, oh wow, this is now not working and all that, because at the end of the day, Madrid won it last season and for me are always the favourites in the Champions League. So it's huge they're out. But yeah, just a little bit off balance. I love Asensio there. I love Valverde. Everyone else, the business they've done, Rudiger on a free and all those guys, and probably looking like Trent as well. So yeah, just to regroup. Ancelotti knows that's the big thing for Madrid. Might not keep his job. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, I think Ancelotti is one of the best to ever do it. I think his team can literally adapt and play in any way. But that's Real Madrid. You don't do well in the Champions League. I know they're not winning the Liga, so you lose your job. And it's as simple as that at the Bernabeu. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for that game. Another video about Van Dijk contract on its way.